Welcome back, Legends. This time, the Mayhem event feels different, and not in a small way. For the first time ever, Gameloft actually announced a Mayhem event early in the patch notes. No surprise drop, no sudden hype, no out-of-nowhere moment. And if you've been playing Asphalt Legends for a while, you already know that surprise factor was part of what made Mayhem events so special. Back then, every Mayhem event just showed up unexpectedly. No hints, no leaks, nothing. And somehow those events turned out to be some of the best in the game. I'm talking about events that worked for everyone. Beginners, veterans, even premium players. They were generous, rewarding, and honestly, one of the few events that truly felt fair. But now with the Road to Glory patch notes, that surprise is gone. Gameloft has officially listed the Mayhem event alongside every other event. So now the big question is, does revealing it early mean it's going to lose that generosity? Are we about to see another event get nerfed or locked behind paywalls? Or will it still be the same amazing event we've seen before? That's exactly what I'm breaking down today. Before I go deeper, if you guys enjoy these kinds of breakdowns and honest thoughts on Asphalt Legends, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling me what you think about this change. I read everything, and I want to know your expectations too. What makes this Mayhem event different? Now here's another massive change, and this one is honestly huge. In every previous Mayhem event, the main featured car was never brand new. It was always a car that already existed in the game. Usually we saw those cars introduced earlier through special events, spotlight events, or other formats. Then later they showed up in Mayhem. But this time, that pattern is completely broken. For the first time ever, the Mayhem event is featuring a brand new car, the Aries Panther. This is literally its first appearance in Asphalt Legends, and it's coming straight into a Mayhem event. So yeah, you can easily call this the Ares Panther Mayhem Event. Ares Panther, full stats and first impression. Let's talk about the car itself, because this is where things get really interesting. The Ares Panther is a B-class car, and at max, it reaches a rank of 4,387 at 6 stars. That's already pushing into elite territory for B-class. Not just good, potentially top tier. Top speed is 368.6, which is very strong for B-class. Definitely on the higher side. Acceleration is 83.84, not the absolute best in class, but still very solid and competitive. Handling comes in at 70.82, which is actually really good. Nitro efficiency is 49.07, and I'd call that mid. Not bad, not amazing, just balanced. So overall, the stats look very strong. If the car ends up having good floaty behavior and smooth handling in real gameplay, this could easily become a very competitive B-class car, maybe even a meta contender, depending on how it feels on the track. Support car lineup. Now let's move on to something that's just as important, the support cars. One of the best things about previous Mayhem events was how F2P friendly they were. Every stage didn't just reward the main car, but also gave a ton of blueprints for support cars. That helped players unlock new cars, star them up, or even max them out just by grinding. So yeah, the support lineup matters a lot. This time, the lineup looks like this. Aries Panther as the main featured car, McLaren 600 LT Spider, Pagani Zonda Cinque, Aston Martin DBS GT Zagato, McLaren 650S GT3, Ford GT MK4, Mercedes AMG 1. Honestly, that's a solid lineup. Strong cars, good variety, and a lot of value if the rewards stay the same as previous Mayhem events. But again, everything depends on whether Gameloft keeps the structure unchanged. Event structure and rewards. Let's talk about how Mayhem events usually work. These events usually run for around 10 to 20 days. And during that time, we get roughly 10 to 16 stages. Sounds like a lot, but that's actually what makes the event so good. Because stage by stage, you keep earning rewards consistently. And here's the key thing. There was never a heavy paywall. You could progress even without maxed cars. You could grind, improve, and keep moving forward. Each stage gave not only blueprints for the main car, but also a huge amount of blueprints for support cars. That's why these events felt so rewarding. You weren't stuck. You were always progressing. Now yes, one thing to keep in mind, the main featured car blueprints were always a bit limited through stages. If you really wanted to max it, you usually had to spend tokens on packs in the shop. But still, compared to other events, this was one of the most F2P-friendly formats in Asphalt Legends. The big question is, will Gameloft change it? Now this is where things get a bit concerning. I'm honestly thinking about this differently, because Mayhem events were always unexpected. That surprise factor came with generosity. It felt like Gameloft just dropped a gift for the community. But now, it's planned, listed, and revealed early. So does that mean changes are coming? Are we going to see nerfed rewards like what happened to Spotlight events? Will Gameloft introduce a dedicated event pass for Mayhem events? Will this become another monetized system every season? Or will it stay exactly the same and continue being one of the best events in the game? Right now, there are more questions than answers. And the truth is, we won't know anything for sure until May 5th, when the event actually launches. Until then, all I can do is hope that Gameloft keeps this event as generous, fun, and rewarding as it used to be. Because if they don't, if they turn this into another paywalled event, then honestly, we're losing one of the last truly F2P-friendly experiences in Asphalt Legends, and that would hurt the game more than people realize. Final thoughts. So looking at everything, this Ares Panther Mayhem event is bringing some of the biggest changes we've ever seen in this format. The early announcement alone already breaks the tradition of surprise drops, which used to define these events. On top of that, we're getting a completely brand new car introduced directly through Mayhem for the first time ever, and not just any car, but a very strong B-class contender with elite level stats. The support car lineup also looks stacked, which means there's huge potential value here if the reward system stays generous like before. At the same time, the classic Mayhem structure, long duration, multiple stages, steady progression, and F2P accessibility is what made these events so loved in the first place. But now with everything being revealed early, there's this real concern about whether things will change behind the scenes. Whether rewards get reduced, whether paywalls increase, or whether new monetization systems get added. So right now, this event sits in a very interesting position. It could either continue the legacy of being one of the best events in Asphalt Legends, or it could mark the start of a completely different direction. All we can do is wait, watch carefully on launch day, and see which path Gameloft decides to take. So yeah, that's everything I've got for now. I'll be covering the full breakdown right after the event goes live, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe. Legends, see you on the track.
Fighting the air, a scream in the void, no one to care. Time stands still, teeth clenched tight. The abyss calls me into the